Alright, posting this real quick to talk about the firebox. We fired for the fourth time, and I am redoing the firebox. We had a lot of iron kind of all over the kiln, and you can kind of see it in the back. It's actually piled up in the passive dampeners, and we had some of it just all over the work in the front of the kiln. In the past, it really hasn't been a big deal. But I'm just kind of getting sick of what it's doing to some of the work. It's just flat out ruining some of the work, which is really just the kind of work we're doing more than the kiln. The iron grate bars, which we took out, are right there. Still in pretty good shape for 4 firings. Starting to sag a little, but really in pretty good shape, frankly. And they do a really good job of keeping the wood up and getting the air into the wood and sending this thing to the moon. But so anyway, what we did is I took some 18 by 12 tile bricks and I ripped them to make stands for these 4 by 18 cross pieces here that I shoved into where the grate bars go, and then I filled those with brick. The bricks that were in there kind of tapped out pretty easy, so I was pretty happy about that. I thought it was going to be kind of traumatic, and it wasn't. So we've got these tucked in there and sealed up. I can show you kind of, I mean, they're in there pretty good. And then I also put a row in the bottom to just snug the stands up so they wouldn't move around very much. They're in there pretty tight. I may even put another course in on the bottom there, but maybe not. We'll see how it goes. But I wanted to post that because I had some comments from somebody else who'd built one of these kilns and was having some issues with the iron and with the grate bars themselves. And so again, this is this experimental. We haven't fired it like this before. We'll be firing it before the end of the month again, but we'll see how it works. I'm pretty confident that these things won't just shatter with the pine getting thrown in here and whatnot. I think can hold up to it. Plus, after a while, you get a pretty good buildup in here of coals on top and around and everything like that. And so they tend to cushion the wood coming in. So I mean, if the whole thing falls down, I guess that's a lesson learned. But hopefully it won't. Thing's getting pretty seasoned. You can see the just ash running all over the whole floor of this thing. Basically, the whole first 2 feet of this thing just glistens like a lake in the middle of the firing because they're just glazed. So we use a lot of wadding on the posts and stuff like that. And back got a little under fired. Back bottom cone was down. Cone 10 was down. Side was down. 11 was going down. Front, I don't even put cones anymore because they just melt. And they're like, you can't see in the front anyway. It's so hot. So it doesn't really matter. You can see some of the ash glazes got under fired, which was really weird. I mean, we were so close. We were so close on some of these, and you can see on the rim where it's still a little rusty looking, So when I looked in there and saw it all melty, I thought we were in good shape. But so next time we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna do nothing but Shino up front and Nuka, things that can really take it, and then the rest of the kiln will try and be smart about what we're using. And we're still learning, but we don't launch till the fall, so we got time to learn. So after the 5th firing, maybe I'll post again. We'll talk a little bit about the work. It's a great kiln. Bill and Gilder and John Thies really did a great job. Also on the next firing, we're going to take this first course out here, and I'm going to do a series of mouse holes through there, because this brick is going to cut down a little bit on the air because the grate bars take up a smaller space. So it's going to cut a little bit down on the air, so I want to leave probably 3 brick-sized ports in there to get more air into this thing, because it just, even though it always gets where it's going, sometimes I feel like it's really starving for air, and so we wind up dragging coals out and throwing it back in through the door, which is cool, but I just soon not have to do it. But things are holding up pretty well. You can see, I mean, not really a lot of cracking, very little actually. The outside of the kiln, the stucco, we've got 3 inches of fiber underneath this thing, so you can see that I mean, some superficial cracks, but the whole thing's not falling apart, which is good. So real happy about that. And Manny the Burninator. So we'll try the new firebox out and let you know how it goes. Thanks.